Amy, reporting for Kids First, and today I'm going to be talking to Nick Park and Merlin Crossingham, the directors of the new film Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl. Mr. Park is also the creator of this film. He is known for his work on many other Wallace and Gromit films, as well as many Shaun the Sheep titles. Mr. Crossingham has also directed other Wallace and Gromit films, as well as Early Man, multiple series of Morph, and was the key animator on Chicken Run. Welcome, Mr. Park and Mr. Crossingham. Welcome, Mr. Park and Mr. Crossingham.
Hi.
It's nice to see you.
So to start us off, Mr. Park, you are the quintessential Wallace and Gromit creator. Where did you come up with the idea for the latest installment of Wallace and Gromit?
Oh yeah, well, and the idea is so important for us to motivate us to make a movie as well. But it came around in two halves. Back in the days of Curse of the Were-Rabbit, there was this initial idea of what if Wallace invents a smart gnome to help Gromit in the garden, and that was one idea, and it was funny, and it was about 30 minutes long, but it was lacking something a bit sinister and evil, like behind the gnomes, what's making them do what they do. And then this second idea came along, which kind of made it much better, which was, how about, what if Feathers McGraw was behind it all, the penguin, and what if he came back? And suddenly, that really made things really much more exciting, because he had a personal thing, against Wallace and Gromit, because they'd helped put him in jail like 30 years ago. So everything got more exciting after that.
Yeah, it's a very fun concept.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Crossingham, how did you get involved in this production?
Well, Nick asked me to direct the film with him, and I have worked with Nick for many, many years. I started as an animator, and then I became a director, and I've worked with Nick and with Wallace and Gromit for more than 25 years. And so I know Nick and I know Wallace and Gromit very well. And so it was part of that, and I don't quite know why he asked me to work with him, but I'm very pleased that he did.
So Mr. Park, can you explain a little bit of why you chose claymation to create Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it wasn't a choice. It was I'd started doing animation when I was very young, when I was 12 or something, and I tried lots of different techniques with animation, like paper cutouts, flip book, drawings and different things, and clay. Just when I was at film school, I just lent more towards that because I could express my own humor through clay. When I first animated Gromit and Wallace, I reacted to, people saw the first test that I did, and they laughed a lot, and that's what made me want to keep going with clay.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So Mr. Crossingham, claymation seems very time consuming. What would you say is the most difficult thing about making films with claymation?
One of the hardest things actually is keeping them clean, because there's lots of different colors, and if you animate one color and you don't clean your hands, that color transfers to, I don't know, if you're using Wallace's trousers are brown and you get brown clay all over your fingers, and then you put it on his arms, which are white, and then it kind of goes all marbly and a bit weird and a bit horrible. So making sure that you, as an animator, that you keep your hands clean is one of the hardest things to remember, because it can really spoil your day's work if you don't remember to clean your fingers.
And that is not something I would have thought would be that big of a problem.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly big problem.
Mr. Park, what is the collaboration process like with your production team when you put together a project such as this?
Oh yeah, it is, collaboration is the word. It's because there's us two directing, and coming up with ideas. And first of all, we have a writer who works with us as well, who's good at story and a lot of the gags and stuff. And then we work with storyboard artists who draw out every scene, and that we edit that, and that helps us to work out the story and the jokes. And then we have a whole team who are making all the puppets and the sets, and we have to talk to them all the time. And then when we start filming, we have, is it 35 animators,
Yeah.
all filming different scenes like this at the same time. That's why it takes us about 15 months to film.
We had about 260 people working on this film. And just figuring out how you're going to do it. We have a whole department who just spend their time kind of scratching their heads figuring out how we're going to do it. And that's a really important part of the puzzle as well.
Yeah.
All right, so last question that either of you can answer. What do you hope audiences will take away from this film?
Oh, I hope they'll really laugh.
Yeah, be thoroughly entertained.
Yes. And I hope they go away knowing that they should never trust a gnome or a penguin with a rubber glove on his head.
Because he might be a chicken in disguise.
Yes. Or don't trust a chicken, for that matter.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Nick Park and Merlin Crossingham.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely to talk to you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with me, Nick Park and Merlin Crossingham. You can watch Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl on Netflix starting January 5th, 2025. I'm Avalon N, reporting for Kids First. Be sure to like and subscribe to our Kids First channel so you don't miss any interviews or reviews.